Hi everyone. Okay, so today I'm going to do a sky replacement, pool replacement, and grass replacement. Let's start with the pool. So let's go to manipulation, water, then click on create water. Now you should already have the lasso tool selected, and then let's start selecting the pool water, not the tiles, just the pool water. Okay, so let me just go all the way around. I'm just gonna cut through these leaves. Now we want to choose our brush tool, and then let's set to normal mode, opacity 100 and flow 100. I'm just going to brush that area white. Now we can deselect, double click on inner shadow, and then you can click on the image, and then you can drag the shadow around. So I'm going to leave something like this, and then take that opacity lower, click OK. Now let's hide the sun reflection layer for now, and let's click on our reflection, choose our move tool, and then just hold shift and drag till you see some of those trees in there. Next, what we can do is click onto our water brush layer, choose our brush tool again, and then just resize your brush. You'll notice a square outline. My outline, in case you can't see it in the video, my square, the top of my square is basically sorry, is basically above the highest point of the pool. So running like this. Now I'm going to give one click. So flow 100, opacity 100, mode is normal, and I'm brushing with white. Just gave it one click. I did not hold the button down, I just gave it a click. And then what we can do is click onto our water brush mask, right click on your image and choose a soft round brush. We can set our flow to 10%, switch to black as your foreground. I just clicked on X on my keyboard, and then let's make the brush a bit smaller and start adding in some shadow detail around the edge of the pool. It's kind of like burning the shadow in. So if you went if you made it too dark, you can just switch to white again and then just lighten it up a bit more. So now we can see the bottom of the pool basically. Let me just make it a bit more darker around the edge here. Okay, so that looks fine. Now we actually had steps here on this end. Let's hide this group so you can see the steps. Let's choose our polygonal lasso tool and start selecting the steps. So like that, and then hold shift down to add selection. We'll add this one in as well, and there's basically your steps are selected. Let's see, is there another one there? Looks like another one. I think that's one. Okay, so now what I want to do is go to my select in Photoshop and modify and now add a feather. Like I'll have mine on 3 pixels, so that's fine. And okay. Now we can show the group again, make it visible again. We still selected on the water brush mask, but we're going to brush with white now. Brush with white and lighten up the steps a bit. 100% opacity, 10% flow. Let's lighten up this a bit more. Lighten this a bit. That wasn't too light. This one was very dark actually. Lighten this up a bit more. That's too much. Make it a bit darker. Okay, wait, I can't see this one. Let's lighten this one a bit more. Something like that, I think. I actually want to just add a bit more shadow here. So I'm going to swap to black and add a bit more shadow. Try and give it a more natural effect. Something like that. And now we can show this sun reflection layer if we have the sun somewhere above here. We can double click on this thumbnail here of the sun reflection and we can drag this around. We can resize it, click on the name scale and just drag to the left or to the right. I'm just going to leave it a bit something like that. Click OK. Okay, so I think that's fine. You can change the color of the pool water by double clicking on the watercolor on this thumbnail here, and then you can just change the watercolor. You can also drag this slider. I think that's fine. I'm just going to leave mine like that. Okay, if you look at this pool, this one's like very cyan, almost green. So we can actually take it a bit to the more to the cyan side. Yeah, I think that's better. But okay, you can play with it and make it match your image. I'm going to leave it like that. Now I'm going to flatten, snap flatten. You don't have to worry about losing your layers. If you made a mistake, then you can get your layers back. It's saved on that snapshot. So I have all my layers here again. Okay, so now we can go over to, let's do the sky. So sky tools, and then I want to access the Kaotec built-in sky, so I'm going to hold down Control or Command on the Mac. And let's choose that one. Okay, so flow I'm going to take to 100 and brush in my sky. Now I'm going to have some of the clouds showing through because it's gray clouds, and the quick swap light doesn't remove gray clouds, so we need to tweak this mask. Now I'm going to click on tweak mask. Now I want to zoom in at this point. I want to see the finer details like this cable and the edges of the trees, so the leaves. And now I'm going to drag the slider to the right to darken the sky a bit more, but I don't want to go as far as where I'm going to start losing detail. So where it starts losing detail, you just stop right there and then click OK. Now we have the burn tool selected, and now we can start burning the detail. We can burn the sky darker. So my range is on shadows and my exposure is 50%. So now I can just burn the sky darker. So I don't want to go over the cables just yet. Just get rid of this gray in the sky. And now I can just zoom in and focus more on the finer details. So when it comes to the finer details like the cable and the tree leaves here, you can go over the leaves and the cable, but once you've gotten rid of the gray, then don't burn the again. Like here, you don't want to burn the again, it's starting to lose detail then. So once you've gotten rid of the gray, then you can move on. If you over like details like this, then you can give it like a few clicks. Give it a few clicks until the gray is gone. If you don't want to brush over it like that, you can give it a few clicks until the gray is gone and then move on. So here my mountain is basically faded away, and I'm going to keep it faded away so that it looks natural. And now just give a few clicks here, it's very sensitive cable here, so just clicking gently there. And done. Now I can just click apply on the plugin. And there we go. So we can also click on our sky layer and bring up levels or hue saturation to just match our sky with our foreground. But this one looks fine actually, so I don't need to do that. But can bring down saturation a bit. And okay. Okay, so now we can flatten this, snap flatten. So now we have snapshot 1, which is our water. You can even rename it to your water. And then snapshot 2 for our sky swap layers. I flattened that, so I'm going to go back to the bottom. And now I'm going to do the grass. So close the sky tools and go over to greenery. And then click on quick swap G. Make your brush a bit smaller. And then you can just start brushing your grass. Okay, so when you come to a straight line, and it's kind of hard to keep brushing like this in a straight line, you might go over. So what you can do is click on this end, hold down shift and go to the other end and give another click, and then it basically moves in a straight line for you. And now you can make your brush bigger and then just fill up the rest. And you can try and avoid these flowers here. I'm just gonna brush over it. I don't just I'm just gonna cut them away. not going to remove that object either. I'll just go around it just so that this video isn't too long. I feel it's already a bit long. You can also use like the polygonal lasso tool to select an area where you want to brush in. Like you can just select the area that you want to fill with grass, and then you can brush in, make your brush bigger, and then just fill it up like here. So this will be probably like that. You can either fill it up like that, or you can hold down Alt, and then if I hold down Alt, then I'm targeting the foreground here. If I hold down, so it's Option or Alt to target the foreground, and then it's Command or Control to target the background here. So now I'm gonna hold down Alt and then press backspace on my keyboard or delete, and then it fills up using the foreground color. Now that's a bit too sharp. You can just swap the black, and then you can just soften that edge there. Or when it comes to edges like this, you can then choose just right click on your screen and choose the cross edge brush. Oh, it's actually here, cross edge. So you can choose that, and then you can set this to both colors to white, foreground and background to white, and then you can just, where is my cross? On there, or there. You can make it bigger. So if you don't want that straight line, you want some natural cross blade, then you can just use the cross edge brush. So that takes a bit long, so I'm just going to use the normal brush. It's just to add a bit of a feather to your edges so that you don't end up looking like you just pasted a piece of green paper grass there. So we don't want it to look fake. Okay, so anyway, yeah, you get the idea. Okay, let me fill up the rest of this, finish of this tutorial. What I do feel is better though than a tutorial is if you guys do like call sessions with me. I don't charge for it, so you don't have to worry about that. It's free, and then I'll guide you step by step. We'll do the images together. You end up learning much more that way, because then you can ask me questions. Okay, so brush now grass, but now if you're not happy with the color of the grass, you have a highlights layer and you have a shadows layer. Now we don't really have any shadows in this image, so we only have to deal with the highlights layer right now. You can double click on hue and saturation, smart filter there. You can play with the color of the grass. You can desaturate a bit, make it seem more natural, and then click OK. Now I want to drag up my levels above the hue and saturation, and now I can double click on levels, so now I can see what is happening. Now I can see how it's actually gonna look, because sometimes, and then I don't know why, but you can't really see. Once you open this, you will see a change. When I double click on levels here, it changes slightly, so you can't really see what's gonna happen, how it's gonna look exactly. So I drag it above, and now it doesn't change. Now you can see what's happening. So I don't know why that happens, but anyway, okay. So yeah, I know this was a long video, but I hope it helps you guys. Enjoy. Cheers.